Okay guys, we're on the top now. It's been a couple of days since I did the bottom, and the bottom came out beautiful. I'm having trouble holding the mold in place. Alright, let me back up. Because the last video ran so long, both cameras, I had two cameras set up, both cameras died. So I had to splice things together to make one full video on the filling of the base. But I put some pictures on the end of the finished base, and it came out great. Now, to save a little time, I've already mixed up a bunch of refractory. I put the base down to fill up, flush to the plug. I just inserted the mold, and been fighting with these spacers, but I've got it within 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So I'm happy with that. Now I got enough refractory in there, so now I'm going to start packing in that to save time. I did a lot of preparation, and this is, like I said, just over moist. It's just very packy. It's not really wet. So we'll get a bunch of this in, and hopefully I can get enough rammed down before these spacers give way. They've popped on me twice already. Now inside here I've got a fight around bent nails that I've welded on the wall to hold this refractory in place, because this is the top. It's going to be upside down. It's going to want to fall out. So I've got a ring of bent nails welded in there, and you'll hear me hitting them from time to time. And this time it looks like I made too much refractory. Go figure. First you don't make enough, and then you compensate for that, and now you got too much. Of course, I might have made this refractory a little too dry, so it's not flowing out. We'll find out when I start ramming it down if we see puddles of water. But the same routine goes. The only trouble is, with the bent nails, you gotta hop up over it, so you can try and do it as much as possible to keep that rod down inside there. And we'll see what we come out with on this. That base came out beautiful. A lot better than I anticipated, I tell you. Now that was curing for about 2 days, like I said, and I pulled out the, started cutting out the styrofoam, and even the cardboard wafers or gauges that I had glued onto the foam was still wet. So it's going to take at least 4 or 5 days for that to really dry out, and it does have to be dry. And I'm going to show you a trick in another video of how you can basically slow cook it to dry it out with just a light bulb. Just a 100-watt light bulb, a construction socket. When you're building a house, you get these construction sockets that you just wire nut the electric cable to, so you got temporary lighting. And stick it through the top vent hole here. Put the two together, and that 100-watt light bulb will generate enough heat to slow cook your refractory shall we say, age it or cure it. And I've done that several times on several furnaces, big ones and small ones. And big ones, it takes a week, 10 days, easily. And then you gotta go through the slow process of firing up your burner in it, and very low heat, and a short time span. You do it 15-20 minutes, and then you let it completely cool down, and you fire it back up again. You keep doing that 15-20 minutes, and then after 5-6 times, and if you don't see a lot of steam or anything unusual coming out of your furnace, then you can increase the heat, pressure, which increases the heat, and build it up another 15-20 minutes at a higher temperature. But I've taken several weeks to make sure some of my bigger furnaces were properly cured. Last thing you want to do is fire up a green furnace and have it explode. That would definitely ruin your day. I could have made this a little wetter. It would have been a little better for flowing down in there. But she seems to be packing in nicely. Definitely not the water puddles I had in the base. Well, I definitely got enough in there that I can pull my spacers now, because I gotta make sure I get those rammed in so there's no void there. Now I'm going to build this up right up almost to the top of that foam. That's going to give me a lip, a tapered cone lip, that will let me, or give me material so I can take the lid and the base and match them up. And then I'll shave them and file them . Now I can feel, by doing it like this, I can feel where the soft spots are and work them in. And now, as I'm getting close to the top, I'm starting to see some water. Not much, just a little bit, just wet coming to the surface, which is good. Now I want to make sure I push this down all the way around. Okay, let's put on the finishing touches. Like I said, this time I made just about the right amount. I'm going to have a little bit left over, I think. Which is alright, because I got to make, I can't pronounce that name. It's that pad that you put inside the furnace. It's plith? A plith or something like that, or ploth. I can never pronounce that. But you're supposed to use those under your crucible to prevent the crucible from heat bonding to the bottom of your furnace. So that way, if it does heat bond, it's going to heat bond to that, and when you pull it out, it comes out with the crucible, and you can get it off after it cools down. Now this is what I wanted to see. This is what I wanted to see on the when we did the base. You see there's just a little bit of water coming out, and you saw how dry it was when I put it in. And I'm putting a lot of pressure on it because I want to find out if I got any voids where it sinks down. Now you can see the wetness there. That's all coming up. Okay. Now I wonder if I got enough to do at least one of these. This is what I'm talking about. It's got it's just a simple wood dry paneling mold, and those notches in there are going to be for the legs to hold it up so that it sits elevated from the drain hole in case you have a rupture, and then this will be the top. So let's see how much I got left. And these are nothing fancy. They don't have to be elaborate or anything. I've even made them out of fire brick. Just took and cut them and cut a fire brick in half, and then took a file and made some grooves for the legs. A little more labor intensive. Which one do I want? Let's use this one. Now working that back and forth brought the water right up to the surface. That's wet. But that'll work. Now I wonder if I got enough for the last one. Back it down into where the legs are. That's your void. That's funny. Yes, the other day when I was doing the base, I couldn't figure out enough. I was always short. I had to mix up with 1-2 scoops, 1-2 scoops. And this one here, I am down to a handful and a couple of crumbs in the wheelbarrow. It's just the way it goes. Work this down. Get the water to come up. In a way, that's just like doing cement. You work the cement and the water comes to the surface and the cement smooths out. Same principle. Okay, so we got those. Now those will cure the same way. Now we want to work this. And like I said, I want to have enough of a lip so that I got some material that when I made it up to the base, I can file, grind, sand, whatever I need to do to make this fit exactly onto the base to make a good seal. Now I know a lot of other guys, they just make a flat slab and they just stick it on there. And that's fine. If they want to do it that way, that's fine. I want to make it so that when I stick these two together, they're going to stay there and they're going to be perfectly in line when they sit over the top of the crucible. Now look at that. That's beautiful. That's what I wanted on the base. I was just a little bit short, but it still came out good. And like I said, I got lucky. I got maybe a very big handful left. So there's very little waste. Very little waste. That worked out terrific. Okay, there the CB, guys. Very little water coming out, but it is enough to show it's all wet. I'm up to the top. Now this will cure for at least 2-3 days. I'll know more. After 2 days, I'll cut a little window to see how wet it is. Like I said, when I took the base out, I just did the base a couple hours ago, and that one, the cardboard was still wet. There's a cardboard here. There on the base there was a cardboard in the middle and cardboard at the bottom. They were all wet. So there was a lot of dampness there. But it's set up hard enough that I had no trouble cutting the styrofoam out, peeling it out with my hands and getting it all cleaned up, and it was perfect. It was beautiful. So I think we're set to go. We got the base, the stands for the crucible. Oh, I wanted to show you. This is the A5. This is the A5, and I have no idea what that one is called, but this one is, I think, 105. What did they say, 105 ounces? No, yeah, ounces, because you're going by weight. And I've used this one a couple of times, works beautiful. So I had to extend the base on the other one to handle this bigger one, and it was a little bit wider. So this is my quick shot for small castings there. This is for my big one. And I'm not sure how much this will hold, but it's a big crucible. So, all right, I think we're all set, guys. That should do it. You'll be back when I clean these up and I set up the heater and get them to start cooking. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.